Right, hello, my darlings. Back with my great ugly idea book. And today I'm doing secret tags. So these are my first ever attempt at doing these. I've seen them floating around on YouTube, Facebook, social media for ages, but I've never made any. So today I've done, this is my first, this is my second, and it's the secret writing spots. So I've done my own instructions to go into my Great Ugly, and I've done a second one that will possibly go into another current make. So that's the first secret tags. So keep watching and be with you in a moment. Right, hello my darlings. Back with the Great Ugly. And she is getting to be a chunky monkey. My Great Ugly Idea book. I've left that in there. That was a whoops from a previous project, but I need to get it stuck in here somewhere. So, no, she's getting to be a bit of a chunk. So today I've got a new idea and a new sort of tactic for filming that I'm going to try. I've put this scrap piece of belly band, really old belly band on here, but I've had to tidy it up a bit and then glue it because it's a really old one. So this idea is for a hidden journaling card. I've seen the idea off and on for a while now, but I've never actually made one. So I thought this would be a good opportunity to make one and get it into the Great Ugly. So as for filming, I'm just starting now. But I'm hoping to film then an intro section to show the finished one that I can put in before you see this during the editing. So that's the plan anyway. So the idea is you have a hidden journaling spot trapped inside. So I've cut 2 pieces of this lovely, less loved scrapbook paper out, and I'm just going to round corners. Nothing too big on the corners. I think I'm just going to go for the 10. That should be fine. And do these 4. These 4. And I'm also going to do the insert. Now, I've used white cardstock for this insert to go into the Great Ugly. And so from what I remember seeing, I'm not going to link a video because I've seen this done in a few different ways by different people. So get everything inked first. So this gets both sides. I'm not going to sort of overly embellish the one that's going into the Great Ugly, but I've got a second one cut that I am going to embellish a bit more to go into my current book in progress, Penelope. So get some color on that. And again, for my idea book, it's the order of the process you're going through. So I'll write myself little notes, cut to size, ink first, that kind of thing. And the inking I'm doing now is so that my future self can look back and think, right, those are the inked edges that are going to be showing. And it's just to refresh my memory when the muse is struggling for ideas to work on something. So very quickly, there we go. So the front sides have been inked. I inked both sides of that one, and I'm sticking to black ink for now in that one. So the idea then, this is slightly smaller than the front 2 pieces. So these now get glued back to back. Use art for this. I'm wondering if sewing would work. So all 4 sides get a bead of art. And hopefully I'm going close enough to the edge that my inside will fit. But you can test this. No, don't go in there. You can test this before you glue the inside into place. So if your inside needs to get trimmed, you can trim it before you actually attach it. Now, get this down, bang on, one on top of the other. Easier said than done with art, because art is like, yes, give it here, I'll have it. And it sticks so quickly. I think I'm in camera. So give Art a moment. He doesn't need long. It did go off. It did go ski-whiff on that corner. Or maybe my cut-in was a little bit ski-whiff. It's fine. I'll ink it. You probably can't even see that. I can. Right. Give that corner a whack with some ink. And on the back of this, now that's been sandwiched together, I'm going to add a little bit of writing space. Where's my... Right here. No, I'm not going to use that one. I'll just use the silver one. So, give it a whack. And then up to about there. Really rough. Tear that bit off. And again for size. And off on that side. There we go. So that I'm going to give some grungy color to on the edges. And glue that onto the back. And the reason why I'm doing that is I want it to look like a journaling card from outward appearance. So let's try the glue sponge. Those edges with a smush and a smush. And this is quite thin paper, so it doesn't like to be smushed. Oh, come on. It'll be fine. And stick it on. There we go. So, all outward appearances, this is now a journaling card with a bit of writing on the back. So, I really should wait for this to dry, but I'm not. I'm just going to go for it for the sake of this one. So, there's this front of my card. I will stick something on there. But now, I need to decide where the top is. So I'm just going to guess. But I am lining it up on my mat because I want the cut to be straight. So I don't use my paper trimmer very often. I prefer using the mat, a steel ruler, and my roller. So I'm going to give it... quarter, yes. Right. So my wheel. That should go through the whole thing. So now I have this going on. That opening. And this opening. So take this journal card. Will it fit? Yes, it fits. Will it go in square? Or does it need to be trimmed? No, it does go in square. Right. Now that's in there, quite snug. Now, does it fit all the way, or does it need to be trimmed? Pop it in. No, it's going to need to be trimmed. So, pop that off. Sides need just a bit. Actually, I am going to use the trimmer for that. This thing is not very good. It's a cheap one from one of the discount stores here in the UK, and we have battles. I mean, we have full-on battles. But, alright, is that going to fit? I can fix those edges in a minute. Is that going to be too long? Let's have a look. No, it goes all the way. Whoop, not sideways, dude. That way. I'm sure you could do more precise measuring if you want to. But that now just looks like a journaling card from both sides. I'm not going to ink that edge. I guess you could if you really wanted to highlight it. But again, this is my prototype that I'm going to scribble on. And of course, my prototype I've made quick and dirty because it's going into the Great Ugly and I need to scribble instructions all over it. So hold in tight there with a bit of pressure. Pull this out. And do I need to recenter that? No, I need to round the corners. That's what I need to do. There we go. That one. That one. Whack the edges with a bit more color. And I need to glue this now in there. And to do that, I'm just going to use art. Make sure I'm all the way in. Squeeze a bit in. And on the other side. Oh, just a bit. Give it a squish. Pin in the glue. There we go. A little bit is squished out. There we go. Happy days. I was a bit heavy-handed with the art there. Get some of that. I don't want it to stick to itself when I put it back inside. All right, before I stick that inside, let's stick something on here. So I found that in, I have no idea where it came from. I had some snippet packs from the last trip to the States, all different brand names. And I've had them squirreled away. I haven't really used them, but I thought, right, do something. So I think I'm going to stick that down, bit higgledy-piggledy. Don't drop it all over yourself now. Come on. There we go. Now this one's going into the Great Ugly. I'm going to do the second one now off camera for Penelope, and then I'll come back on to show the results. I'm quite excited now for Rachel and Bella's collaboration. I've got about a week or so. I'm doing something quirky. I think I know what I'm doing. I need to do a bit of planning to get ready for that because it'll be my first sort of collaboration video. Very excited, but a bit nervous at the same time. So, oh, it's warning me my battery's low. I should be fine now. Give that a little bit. And pop that on there. Glue. All over. Quick and dirty, as they say. And lovely. I can't believe I've never made one of these. I've seen them on YouTube, Facebook, Pinterest. I don't do a great deal on Pinterest, but I do go on there every so often. So let's get this stuck back in. And there we go. Hidden journaling card. Spot on the back. But who's to know? I suppose you could stick a little piece of lace or something to disguise that sort of seam that can be seen. But on the other hand, if this lives flattened in a journal for over a spell of time, you're not going to immediately notice it. But there we go. Where's the Great Ugly is here. So I'm going to pop this in here for now. And I'm going to have a go at the second one. And I'll pop back on with instructions for the Great Ugly. So, I'll be back. Right, and I'm back. My first ever 2 attempts at hidden tags. I'm calling these secret tags. I don't know if there's a proper name for them. Like I said before, the idea I've seen floated around on the internet for ages, and I've just never had a go with them. So here's our tag for the Great Ugly. So you can see the seam if you're looking. Even though it's a busy pattern, you can still see it. I'm calling it secret tags. Written a note to myself, glue lace to disguise the tag. So I've written my instructions on here. These are still a little snug. 1, cut the 2 outers, 1 inner, round corners in ink, glue the 2 outers on all 4 sides. I muddled up here and I mixed up my directions. So 4 is slice and cut the top. 5, dry fit this inner piece first and for size and fit. Glue the inner into the top flap, and then embellish, go to town. Note to self, add lace or something else to disguise the slice you've made. So that's the one to go into the Great Ugly as my very first one that I've ever made. So quite pleased with that. It's a little wonky, rough around the edges, but lovely. This is the one then that I've done possibly to go into Penelope as my second ever secret tag. So I've popped some wax on there, a bit of embellishment. I've tried to add the lace to disguise the flap. Put a bit of writing space on the back. Bit of something on the front. And is this one going to pull out? Yes. So then I have my secret writing space on the inside. And now the lace wants to get stuck. So when it's put back together, it's going to take a bit of do when to do. But what I have learned is paper is much like wood. It learns its shape, it knows its shape in the world, and the more you persuade it to take on a new shape, it will. So that now, kept flush into a book for any length of time, will learn its shape. And hopefully that will be easier to pull in and out. But no, I'm quite pleased with that. So this is going away, and this is going, stretch. Sorry, I got a squeaky chair. Is going into my Great Ugly in there for now. So no, that's all for me. Thank you ever so much for watching, everyone. If you do like what you see here, please leave a like and leave a comment. As I said, I'm still learning, and I'm still trying to up-level my skills here. So take care, everyone. See you soon. Bye for now.